Welcome to the pulsating biology, and we were covering the chapter for Olevels biology, that is immunity and the disease. We have covered most of the subtopics in this chapter. In this video, we're going to talk about what are the effects of tobacco smoke. So basically, tobacco is a plant. This plant that consists of many toxic compounds, which we are going to talk about them. But firstly, how the tobacco is basically consumed by human beings is majorly in the form of smoke. That means in the form of cigarettes, and or you can say and in other forms also that are very harmful towards the body consumption. When you talk about the effects of the tobacco smoke concisely, you need to know that there are some major toxic components that comes under the tobacco. So majorly the three important major toxic components include firstly the nicotine. When you talk about the nicotine, you need to understand that nicotine is very harmful towards the body. It similarly what it does it causes it similarly causes the basically the vasoconstriction of the vessels. That means the vessels basically constrict themselves, due to which the blood cannot flow properly. As the blood vessels are mostly narrow, whenever they get constricted, the blood does not is properly consumed by the body. And so what does it causes? It causes the vasoconstriction. This is the first major toxic component when you talk about the tobacco. Secondly, then second major toxic component that we have is the tar. When you talk about the tar, you need to know that as harmful as nicotine, tar basically is involved in the mutation, that is the basically the involvement of the gene. When you talk about the involvement of the gene, you might know that mutation majorly causes cancer. Now, cancers are of almost two forms. It can be benign or it can be malignant. But however, whenever there is any cause of the cancer, what happens is that sometimes due to the breakdown of the cells, some cells breakdown enters into another cell that causes harm to the another cell also. For example, this is a part of the liver. Whenever there is a cancer, for say in any neighboring organ of the liver, the breakdown of the cell can enter into the liver and cause the cancer in the liver also. From this cell, it can be transferred through all the cells. So the intake of the tar through the tobacco basically is involved in the mutation that can cause cancer, that is very harmful towards our body and may lead to the death of the human being. Thirdly, the major important toxic component that we have is the carbon monoxide. Do take in focus that carbon monoxide is very different than carbon dioxide. Carbon monoxide is basically formed whenever the carbon monoxide involves with the hemoglobin. What happens in this, it forms the carboxyhemoglobin. Now, what is a carboxyhemoglobin? Carboxyhemoglobin is very harmful for the body. For example, there is a certain red blood cell. This red blood cell, if it contains the carboxyhemoglobin, it won't be able to basically transfer the oxygen. Whenever it wouldn't be able to transfer oxygen, the body would be deficient of the oxygen, as the body's major requirement is the oxygen. Similarly, there would be a time come that a person's entire red blood cells wouldn't be able to transfer oxygen to the entire body, and that is the time where the normal red blood cells wouldn't be able to function. So in this way, it is very harmful towards the body. So these are the major three components: the nicotine, the tar, and the carbon monoxide, that causes problems to the body in different manners.